Hello and welcome to ReTech Insights. Gary Sainer, Senior Manager of Information Solutions, will give an introduction to China's National Medical Products Administration UDI pilot, discuss regulations, and unique device identification data attributes.
So as you might have products that you market into China, there has been some policy or legislation, regulations, if you will, history going back to 2019. The National Medical Products Administration, NMPA, announced a pilot for Group 1. And Group 1 was identified as 64 high-risk devices. And we have a list of those a little bit later. But it appears to be a rolling a plan where using these high-risk devices first as the first wave, and then rest of the group, class 3s, and then other devices later on. There are some guidance here available, so you can follow some of these links. The documents are in Chinese, so you will need to do some translation to get English versions of those. As a synopsis of the policy, there is a number of standards that China has put forth. There appears to be some alignment with some of the other earlier agencies, such as FDA and EU. So if you're familiar with either one of those, China will have its own little nuances, of course, but there are some similarities, and you'll recognize some of the attributes and so on, and the rules about placing UDI on product and so on. There is a link there to notice about the database and information that you can pursue there. This page goes through some of the detailed timing and the future reporting requirements and labeling requirements. So October of this year, just a few months away, the Group 1 requirements are enforced. So products that you market in China that fall into this category, you certainly want to be aware of that labeling and reporting activity. And then want to schedule about 2 years thereafter for each additional class. So 2022, 24, and 26, each of the additional classes are expected to be enforced. Question mark there, they might actually come in a little bit sooner than that, but we heard some early information that they would be in a 2-year time frame. We provided a list of those 64 devices in the next couple slides. We won't go through all of those, but if you market in China and you have a product category that falls into these particular listed items, you definitely want to pursue, the labeling and the submission, and we're glad to help you along those lines. So this, I'll just scan through the rest of these, but there's a number of items here that they're grouped together in those product categories on the left, but the actual individual items are on the right. All right, I think that's page 6 of 6. So I know there's a lot there, but went through rather fast, but you can go back and take a look at those. The other bit of information that we want to share regarding China is in regard to the actual data attributes that are being collected. So just as in the European and the U.S. UDI initiatives, there's some categories. Our categories, so not we might have put them in various groupings here just for presentation purposes. And you notice that some are in black regarding, the groups are identification, information about the registrant, regulatory information, safety info, package information, characteristics, and production control. So you probably are very familiar with those types of groupings if you've been involved in the European data set or even the US data set. I did show some of these items in black text, and those are the ones that are similar. They may not be exactly the same values, but they have similar concepts to the US FDA list. And then there's 14 that are definitely unique to China, and they are shown in blue. So you can take a look at those a little bit later. a lot of information about the regulatory activity of that medical device.
For questions about unique device identification solutions or product data management and syndication for medical devices, contact the team at ReadTech Life Sciences at meddevice@readtech.com.